everybody, I'm Romi. This is The Real Romi, and you're tuning into my YouTube page. Jenny, once again.
Permanent guest
spot is Jenny. We are sitting in our backyard. You've done a good job keeping it clean.
Thank you.
It's beautiful out, and this episode is not necessarily about our healing journey, which we've continued to share on here. And we are also so grateful for everyone with their amazing comments, feedback from our last few episodes on here together, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's been super
great.
sweet.
Yes.
But there's been a lot of questions in my DM lately that I just kind of haven't gotten to. And so I thought this would be a cool idea for you guys to ask me questions and for me to be able to answer them, considering that this is The Real Romi. So who is The Real Romi? Ask me questions kind of thing.
I like it.
Do you like it?
Yep. I like this spot.
So the person asking me who I am today is the person who knows me better than anyone in the entire world.
I might have thrown some Easter eggs in there.
She threw some questions in there.
Maybe not.
Maybe? Did you?
See. I might have.
Okay.
But they're not about me.
They're about me.
Yes.
Okay.
Good. Let's roll.
Let's roll. Party time. Excellent.
Party.
I'm like Garth and Wayne right now.
Let's do this.
And then-
Good Halloween costume.
Right?
All right. So let's just start off with what everyone wants to know. There's a few of these questions.
A lot coming in hot.
Are you still engaged? I love that you live your life for you. Are you still engaged to Haven? What does wedding planning look like now that you're engaged?
Wow. Wedding planning looks like non-existent. I don't think I'll be planning any wedding. Don't have a ring. Fastest engagement I've ever experienced in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I don't think it's necessarily me if people want to ask me to marry them.
Wow.
That's a defense mechanism right there, by the way. No, we are not engaged. We're not. It was the fastest.
Stay tuned maybe for that one?
I would say yes, definitely stay tuned. This isn't the time or space to explain what happened, but I am writing my story. And in my story, I do want to go through it because it is a lot. I'm being light about it, but it's actually much heavier than I think I can process.
Mm-hmm.
And so the only way through it is to kind of be able to laugh.
Yep.
Because it was a lot to handle, you guys.
That rolls right into this one.
Okay.
We all want to hear some more of the James story,
Yeah.
whatever you would like to share.
Okay.
Again.
Okay, here we go. Stay tuned. I can share. For those of you who don't know what people are asking about, I had an episode on here with James Haven and I had interviewed him as well for one of my episodes. So you can go back and listen to that one. It is still up. He and I met when I was 20. He is part of a celebrity family. He's Angelina Jolie's brother. He's John Voight's son. That was all out there. We had a friendship and a love and many seasons in 2 decades of my life. He was one of the first people to trigger many things in me as a young girl. And I've spent a lot of time in therapy around this specific relationship in my life. A lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
I had to work through a lot of it. I think it impacted me with a lot of my relationships, my trust issues, my abandonment issues, the shaming, my identity issues. I think they stem from the significance of his in my relationship when I was 20 and then lost my dad shortly after. And yeah, it's a big chapter of my life. And then recently came back into my life. You guys have seen through social media, just like the bits and pieces of he and I and our relationship and Jenny and my relationship. And I'm sure it's confusing. Yeah. I valid that this has got to be confusing to somebody following me. But again, I don't share everything.
Yeah.
Like I don't. Like you think I do. I want you to be invited into my life and understand me and know me as I work through certain different things. Does this person really need to build a house right now?
It is Saturday.
Okay, valid. But there are parts of the chapters that I leave out. And then what happens because I leave them out is that a lot of times the viewer will then come up with
They're confused as fuck.
their narrative too, and then throw their narrative on me. And recently somebody, you know, was like, oh, like poor Jamie and poor James. And like basically Romi's done it again.
No.
She's out breaking hearts, people, and, you know, leaving people in the dust. And it's painful to hear that when that isn't the situation.
Nope.
So that's what I can share about that right now is my heart is yet again needing to be pieced together, and I'm taking good care of it. And I'm not in any way stating that I'm some victim, right? Even though I might be a little bit of a victim.
In this scenario.
In this scenario, I might have to claim victim. And I don't claim that ever. Like ever. We are not victims, but I might be a victim. I would say I'm taking a really hard situation and trying to make it as beautiful as I possibly can.
Good answer.
That's
That's great.
Okay.
Good job.
Thank you.
I put these in great order. How are you doing?
I'm not surprised.
How are you doing? I asked sincerely. That's the person that asked the question. I mean, I'm asking.
Yeah.
How are you doing? I know how you're doing.
You know exactly how I'm doing. I'm doing better than I thought I could be doing in the space and season that I'm in. I think historically, right? Hurt, triggered, why me, drink, numb it out, have sex, you know, just find any way to kind of like not walk through what is happening
to cope,
to numb, right? Workaholic. I'm a workaholic, right? So work 1,000 things, never take a minute. Workout. I'm a workoutaholic. And that I am doing. Yeah. But these are healthy things, right? Like me focusing on work and me focusing on my fitness. I'm back in school. I need to be learning constantly. You know this about me. I need to be educating myself. I need to be growing. I need to be expanding. And so that's where I'm at right now, is in a place of, rather than seeking the woe is me and like that's there, but like how do I keep how do I not let something like this or something in life that happens hold me back from evolving?
I think for the first time ever, like myself, you're just going straight through it.
Yeah.
You're not stopping. You're just going through the pain and feeling it.
Yeah. And I have
trusting it.
Great days, right? And then I have moments where Jenny sees me break down crying, and then I wipe my tears, and then I move on. And I think life happens. It's going to continue. This isn't going to be the last bus that hits me, you know? And so learning the tools to navigate it and like to get through it in a healthy way and to feel it and to process it and to pray on it. You know, my relationship to God has been closer. And I think that's because, and Austin said that in church one morning, I texted you, like the message was really good, but like you come to God when you're in the most pain. It's almost when you seek him more, because the other times you're just like, oh, I don't need it. Right. And then you come to this place and you're like, oh, I need like my faith right now. And so God has a funny way of like bringing me back and making me realize that like everything that I'm relying on in the world is like right here. Yep. And with him, whatever your God may be, right? Whatever that God might be to you. And that's what I feel right now, is it's like, come home. It's right here.
I like it. All right. Some mom stuff, not trauma mom stuff. What kind of parent are you? Are you a gentle parent? Are you a gentle parent? How do you correct bad behavior? I refuse to do sleepovers, and I see you are the same. What age do you think you will allow them?
This is a really present question. I am struggling in motherhood right now. You know this. My daughter,
She's 8 going on 13.
Yeah, my daughter's 8 going on 13. Okay, let me just say this with my daughter. I am a gentle parent, yes. I've always been a gentle parent. That is my approach. You know this since she was born. I am very hands-on. My daughter is not ever an inconvenience in my life. She is the main focus of my life. She is what has made me a better person. You've seen that being my friend into motherhood. She's everything, right? She's my heart. That's my heart walking around. And so I am very attentive and accessible and available and really big on communication with her. And so I've always been a gentle parent, but I am recently learning as she's getting older that I also need boundaries, right? Because gentle parenting, you can be really walked all over because you're so gentle, right? And so I want to make space for her to feel, have opinions. She does. Have emotions. She does. To figure out who she is. And I want to create a space that's safe for her. More than anything, I think you and I feel this, and we look at Frankie and see the situation with like her relationship and mine. People didn't really check in on us growing up.
No.
Nobody really like checked in to see. It was just, we were just surviving like on our own and raising ourselves through the chaos. Like nobody stopped to like, no. So I'm very, and so is Jenny, because she's here basically co-parenting with me now, like making sure that like Frankie is her homework is a priority. Her faith is a priority, right? Like what she's learning is like, we care, we make time for her things, right? She has pretty much the full attention of everybody.
And open it up to discussion.
Right? Always opened up for discussion. And I have to say,
anything on your mind?
Right. What do you want to talk about?
Hates talking about it, but you have to.
And as somebody who co-parents, I only have my daughter 50% of the time. Okay. So for that 50% of the time that I have her, you better fucking believe that it's about her.
Yeah.
Like I get 50% of the time to be about me, right? When she gets to me and that's our time together, she gets me. She has me. That's the focus for the next, 5 days is her. It's challenging. It's hard. It can be a lot. I'm very grateful for you being here and for having a team because I haven't had that, and it is hard to do it alone. It's been hard to do it alone. So like Jenny and I, although not like, romantically involved, we have our own family, and so that's been really beautiful. And some of it she can balance off of me now, which is helpful as she gets older. I have boundaries. I have no's.
Yep.
Recently with a sleepover, all of her friends are having sleepovers. It's that age where they're all spending the night at each other's house. And my stance on it is no. She is not happy with me.
No.
I went from being her hero, her favorite person in the entire world, to I am now a strict mom who's unfair.
Yep.
And that breaks my heart. Like it kills me to have her look at me like this because I want to be her hero forever.
Yeah. And it's hard because you can't explain to her yet why. Why you can't.
That's been the challenging thing. So,
or like you said, you can't open it up to some people. And then she's like, well, how come I can go here, but I can't go here?
Right. So, and here's why, when we grew up, our generation, a lot of the trauma we're sitting here working through therapy comes from those nights at other people's homes, those brothers, those dads, being sexualized as a child. I was molested as a child. Okay. I've been touched. I've had inappropriate things happen to me. You better fucking believe I'm going to do everything to make sure that those things never happen to my kid, right? In situations where I'm not there to protect her. I can't explain that to an 8-year-old right now. Yeah. So when she asks us why, it's because once you open it up to one, then you open it up to all these sleepovers, all the birthday parties. And I'm not saying that I don't trust or love these families. I do. I don't know them to that degree. I don't know them to that degree. Is there an older brother? Are they watching things on television I don't want you to see? Are they playing video games where strangers can come in and which is another topic. Predators can play, which kids are playing right now. We don't play those games. We don't get on YouTube. We're still a kid.
Yeah.
I need her to be a kid as long as she can be a kid. And my approach is not to have her grow up too fast. She's going to be an adult for a really long time for the rest of her life. You do not get this chapter back.
So what age then? High school, junior high?
Probably junior high, but it will be very specific to whose families that we really know, what the kids are exposing her to, what those parents' rules are like, what are they watching. We have social media now. We have older siblings. We have all this stuff that people have access to our kids. So if I drop her off, like, why do I want her in a position where any of that can come to her and I'm not there to like protect it? And no judgment on other families and how they do it. This is just,
I also agree with
how we do it, right? And so the answer is no right now. And we live in a fucking fucked up world.
Yeah.
Like, let's just be honest. Like,
Sketch.
it's sketch.
All right. I'm gonna try to get through all these. I am currently pregnant. I'm not pregnant.
Yeah, oh, are you? Wow.
expecting.
Jenny's pregnant, guys.
Taco baby.
Breaking news.
I am currently pregnant. So about your pregnancy experience, any first-time mom tips?
Yeah. My best advice always to a mom is listen to your gut, listen to your instinct as a mom. Everyone's going to have an opinion for you. Everyone's going to tell you how to do it. Do it how you want to do it. Do your research, study, listen to yourself. And that has been my best thing that I've done. I've never let anyone tell me how to be a parent.
No.
Like, since the day she was born, I had her on my boob for 3 years. People were like, don't do that. She's never going to be independent. That child is independent as fuck. She's probably too independent, okay? And she was on the nipple for 3 years. Like, I did everything the way I felt I needed to do it, right? I stayed home for 3 years to be home with her. That was my choice. I needed that for me. If you go to work the next week, go to work the next week.
Yeah.
Like, do what is best for you. And my biggest thing is don't hold the shame that you're not a good mom because you have to do the certain things you have to do for you and your family. Like, fuck what other people think, fuck what they say. Everyone's going to be happy when you're your happiest. So do what makes you the happiest. That is what our kids need to see. And so, again, in the situation of sleepovers and video games and stuff that she can't play, I'm never, she said to me recently, like, what was it? It was like, well, all my friends do. That's great. All your friends are going to do a lot of things that you don't get to do. And that's just how that's how it is. And so even as like a kid, like, fine, maybe all my friends are doing it a certain way, but like, that doesn't mean I have to.
Yeah.
Like, just listen to yourself, trust yourself. You are going to know what to do.
Yeah, I think just witnessing so many friends and siblings have kids, it's also like, don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Yeah. Oh,
right.
that right there.
One.
I would say that, like, I had a lot of, and this, like, a lot of shame around when I would fail, because like the only thing I ever felt like I was good at was actually being a mom.
Yeah.
Like, that has been the one thing in my life I can take away and say, like, I'm a lot of things, but like being a good mom, I know that I am. So when I would fail, I was really hard on myself, like really hard on myself. And now I'm learning, like, okay, I failed that. Yeah. I didn't win that one.
Or you might have a really great day with her and the next morning it's like, oh gosh.
Yeah, we'll have like a beautiful time. And then in the morning I'm so challenged and I'm just like, I'll look at her and I'm like, well, I'm not going to win this morning. Like, this drop off did not go well.
That's great. All right. Besides your daughter, what are 3 things you would take on an off the grid place right now?
I would take Frankie. And in order for us to survive, I would take you.
Hell yeah.
Because
let's
roll. Or it's an invite. I would take you, right? So we could do this as a team and survive. I would leave the dogs 100%. I wouldn't take one of them. Nope. Unless they were our food.
Wow.
Can we edit that?
Sorry, Joey.
Third thing to take with me.
You only said one.
I said
me.
other than Frankie, besides Frankie. Okay, so you and a weight.
One weight.
Okay. Like a 25-pound.
Okay.
So we could work out.
Okay.
And a gun?
We have body weight.
Okay, I'll bring my gun.
Okay, then you have one more.
Okay, I'll bring my gun, you. We do have body weight. I can lift you. Fuck. I bring my Bible.
Music over Bible?
Yeah. Music? Bible over music.
Okay.
I would need that.
I guess I'm allowed to also bring
stuff
if I'm going.
You're going. Okay, you cool. Bring music. I'll bring the Bible.
Great.
Okay.
Done. How do you navigate negative commentary and how do you persevere? I think that was the word, persevere. Yeah. It was your handwriting.
How do you think I handle it?
I'm not on the spot here.
How do you think I handle it?
I think many years ago it would have affected you a lot more than it does now. I think some come in where you're like, oof, that doesn't feel good, but you mainly ignore it now and just understand that there's shitty people, bullies behind computers that probably have no life and shouldn't have an opinion about you. You don't let it affect you that way anymore.
No, I don't. Jenny knows this about me too. Like, I don't get into war on social media. That's not my style. So people send a lot of things. I've gotten it for years. I mean, since I put myself out there on a reality show, you put your life out there, right? People are watching you. They think they know you. They have access to you. I'm accessible too. I put myself out there. I'm not saying that I don't, in social media, in these types of platforms. And people will say whatever they want to say and send me whatever they want to send me. And they do. And I've taken it for a very long time, and more negative than positive.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're getting a lot of positive.
I'm finally getting a lot of positive, and it fills my soul, and it's confirming of where I'm at in my life to hear the things. So thank you guys for who are sending me really sweet things. It's inspiring, and it makes me feel good, and it makes me cry, and it makes me just keep pushing. But if you write me something negative, I'm not going to respond with negativity. I'm not going to match it.
Mm-mm.
I don't need to defend myself. I don't need to prove anything. I block pretty much everybody. I block accounts that don't have followers. I block people that are just spying. I mean, I'll see it and I just block. So my approach to it is bye.
Yeah.
I don't acknowledge it. I don't sit with it. I just bye. I do not get into online wars.
Nope.
That's my style. And, you know, in terms of like, at least it's not like what it was when I was on the show where they would write like articles about me.
Yeah.
Like publish articles about what to do with somebody like me, which is just like the most hurtful thing in the world. It's just, I think I'm more worried about people out in the world that feel like they need to do this or say this. And that hurts my heart, that we're in a world that people go at people like this.
I mean, I was starting to get some of it, and
she got it just being in my life. Yeah.
I was like, this is shitty. And I wanted to respond. And a couple people I did through DMs, but it to me, it's so pathetic, because I'm like, how bored are you that you are sitting probably at home right now and just typing out this novel to someone you don't even like? How?
I would never.
Like, your life is that shitty. I'm sorry your life is that shitty. Like,
I would never.
Because, and why do you, what gives you the right to like say like how you're living your life? You're not hurting you're not hurting them.
Something about the way I live my life, and I was even writing about this in the book, and you know this, it triggers people. And it has for what? How long?
Yeah,
ever.
As long as I've known you.
As long as she's known me. Something about the way I go about my life, even if it's not intentionally at you, affects you, or directed towards you, it impacts people in a way that they get, either they love me or they hate me.
Yeah.
And there's no real middle ground. I don't understand it yet. I'll work through that, and I try and figure that out. I will say, and this was the best response I ever had, was the person that wrote me on the website about how I shouldn't be a coach and all this stuff. And I offered her the free session.
Yeah, that was great.
I offered her a free session because she needed it.
Which, side note to that, I think anyone that should be doing any sort of coaching and stuff like that should actually have experienced this shit in their life. Like, how do you yeah.
Who wants to see a coach?
It's kind of like a male gynecologist.
Right.
I'm always like, how?
Right.
No.
You might prefer a female, right?
Yeah.
So if you want
to actually know the female body.
If you want a life coach, you want somebody who just studied it all and read about it and learned about it technically, and then is going to talk to you about what they read, or do you want somebody who's actually working through it, going through it, and doing the same steps that they're guiding you to do? Yeah. You want someone who's lived it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm coaching. I'm not here to say I'm perfect.
That's why people come to you, I think.
That's why people come to me, because it's a space to say, what are you going through? How do we push through this? You know, like,
or I've seen you go through all these things. I've witnessed you, Romi, go through all this stuff,
which has recently been happening. Yeah, which feels good.
Good. All right. Fitness and health. Do you believe that someone who hasn't ever had a routine, a consistent workout regimen, or a healthy group of friends can turn their life around and acquire all these things even later in life?
1,000%. I think that at any single point in your life, you can turn your life around. And I have 1,000 times, and I will 1,000 times. Jenny has. At any age, at any day that you wake up, at any minute that passes, you stop and say, I'm done. I'm done with this. This isn't serving me. I want this. If you visualize it, make it happen. It doesn't matter. I'm 42 years old. You're what? 22 years old. Like, my 40s have been my best, right? These have been the best. But like, am I too old? Am I too damaged? Have I gone through too much that I don't deserve the best life? No way. No fucking way. Leave the people that don't serve you. That's been the best thing I've ever done for myself. Just remove them. Like, just remove them. If they're not adding value, if you're not growing from them, you're not learning from them, be around the people you want to be. That's my advice. Be around the people you want to be like. Be around the successful people, the faithful people, the people doing the work, the people that are on the level you want to be at. If you continue to surround yourself with people that are not doing any of that, like, why would you?
Yeah, it's hard.
It's too hard. So, I had a client yesterday and with this question say, like, it's lonely. It is lonely.
Mm-hmm.
It's lonely. We don't have a lot of friends, but I for sure don't. She's got more than me, but it's a lonely world and a lonely journey when you're really focused on what matters. And I encourage anybody, no matter how broken you think you are, no matter how bad you think your life has been, or that you're not deserving of a better life, like, yes, you fucking are. Like, yes, you fucking are.
That said, how do you let go of the number on the scale?
That's a hard question. I've recently gotten into lifting weights and really getting into nutrition, and now I'm in nutrition school, and I've always been into fitness since I became a mom.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've worked out a lot since my daughter was born and got into a healthy lifestyle since she was born. But I go through seasons, right? Like, different times when my weight goes up or it goes down, or depending on life, or like different workouts that I'm addicted to. Recently, I would say this with the scale. I do know, like, muscle weighs more. Like, we do know this, right? And people that are having a hard time looking at the scale, and I have clients that don't want to look at the scale, it puts them into a fucking spiral. Don't. Make your goal for yourself. And is your goal set for health reasons? Not anything other than where should you be at a healthy weight? What is your goal for that healthy weight? Go see a doctor, go do a scan, go figure out with your particular body, because we're all different, where you're supposed to be. And if that's your goal, work towards it. And remember, like, see how your clothes fit.
Mm-hmm.
Test how you want, what you're wearing in terms of that. Remember that muscle's going to weigh more. And remember that a scale fluctuates. It's not always the same based on like periods
every
and
day,
times
of the day.
Times of the day, right? It changes. We bloat at certain times of the day. Like, it's just always going to be different. So if you're obsessing about the scale or even obsessing about the calories, it becomes unhealthy. So my biggest thing I've learned is, and that I'm still learning, is watch your macros, watch what you're eating, make sure you're eating raw, real, unprocessed foods, and you're gonna be okay. And drink a lot of water and lift fucking weights. We are no longer in the journey of life where women need to be like Kate Moss and anorexic and any of that. Eat your food. I'm eating more than I've ever had in my life, and I'm building muscle and I'm hitting my weight goal.
Yeah.
So
I think for me too, because I was 40 pounds heavier last year. I actually never looked at my weight until my clothes started getting baggier. And I'm actually curious, or someone said something, and then I looked, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So I actually didn't look, but that's not for everyone. I get that. Also, I picked a really bad spot because the sun is like frying me. So there's that. Done. One more health question. Any thoughts on step count? I am currently at 40,000 a day, and want to know how to lower that. Do you work at Disneyland? 40,000?
And can we get a free pass?
Like this? That's another story for another day. I wonder if she still follows you.
I don't know. Jenny and I tried to get a fan one time that was reaching out to me many years ago on social media. She worked at Disney. And we tried forever to get her, 14 years ago to get us into Disneyland. But go on.
She almost got fired.
Sorry.
No, so 40,000.
Okay, if you're walking 40,000 feet, we talked about this morning.
That's not a bad thing.
That's not a bad thing. You don't want
to. A lot.
You want to get your steps in. You want to get your steps in. Steps are huge. Lift your weights, get your steps in.
I think people try to get.
So you don't want to lower 40,000 steps, but I would say with that many steps, what are you eating? How much are you drinking? Are you also lifting weights? I love this saying, and people have been posting it a lot, and I've been resharing it. But like, running and cardio and movement is going to give you a longer life. Lifting is going to give you a better life. It's a better quality of life. So are you combining both of them? If you're not a runner, get your steps in.
Yeah.
If you're not going to go for a run, get your steps in.
Yeah.
But like, why would you want to lower that count?
Unless there's a situation where you're losing a lot of weight because you're burning calories, then eat more calories and eat more protein.
Yeah.
I think.
Yes.
I would like this person to actually clarify what they meant and where they were. Because why are they walking 40,000? That's a lot. That's amazing.
That's goals.
Any plans on going back to Long Beach?
Hell to the motherfucking no.
Period.
What about you, Jenny?
Nope. I am.
We are Texans.
I am now a Texan.
Did you hear that?
I'm
She's
now a
loving
Texan.
it. We
I
are
love it.
Texans.
I
We
love
love
it here.
Texas. And
Everyone in my life that is not in Texas looks at me like I'm insane. But
when
love
I
Texas.
left, and you
I
know
looked
this,
at her like
she
was
looked at
insane.
me like our friends saw me
Yeah.
go to Texas, and they were
I
like,
drank the Kool-Aid.
yeah, they were like, oh my God, like Romi lives in Texas, like blah, blah, blah. And now
No.
she's like, I was like,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
A house is on the horizon.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
How has life coaching affected your life? Do you find it helps you recognize your own patterns, needs, and thoughts?
It is really helpful to be serving of others. You've seen me. I could have a really hard day,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to jump on a call.
Mm-hmm. And you do.
And I do. And put my personal stuff away to show up for somebody because that's their space and it's about them. And I have to check out and be there. And it helps me so much be structured, be able to put things aside, be able to show up for somebody else, and then put things into perspective. Because as I'm listening to them, it puts what I'm going through in perspective. I'm giving them advice about how to work through something hard, which then in turn is also me giving myself advice about how to work through something hard. So I would suggest for anyone, do something for others in your life. Find a place that you are serving others in your life. It is one of the most helpful things to not fall into being too consumed with your own life.
Yeah. And I've seen you come out of them after having a hard day and you're like, you feel better and lighter. And then, yeah.
When my clients are succeeding and they are happy or they're telling me what this is doing for them, I'm reminded of like my purpose, and I'm reminded that what I am going through is so that I can then help somebody else.
Yeah, I agree. This is a whole other interview someday on identity, but what are the things that made you realize you were into men and women?
Woo! Loaded question.
Just shorten this one because we could be here for days.
How much time you got? Sit back, relax, and grab your popcorn, ladies and gentlemen.
Maybe that's a whole nother episode.
That will be a whole nother episode. Okay, that's a good
Identity.
one. That's a good one. Identity, because I am an identity coach. And what that means is I'm working with people to figure out, who are you? What do you want to be? What identity have you attached to? What identity do you want to shed? What is the most important part of your identity? And what is the least important part of your identity? And oftentimes when I ask people this, they don't know.
Yeah.
It is like they're literally like, I don't even know.
Or they're stuck on you have to have a title.
Right. So my identity, and I've shared this recently through the Erin podcast, was I was on, the L word. I was a bisexual. I was a lesbian. Then that's all anyone knew me for. Was I became somebody whose identity was wrapped around who I was sleeping with. Is it male or female? That was it. That was all anyone cared about or talked about. Well,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't fucking matter. And that became my identity. Yeah. Well, in terms of like the bisexuality, that was me exploring for many years, right? I've always been bi since I was 13 years old. I mean, this is way before the L word, people. Yeah. Like I've always had that. And then over the last year or two of massive therapy, I've been able to release that, like, that's actually not my identity. And also I'm in a season where I don't want women that way. And you know this, like I had to go through, like, I want to be with men. And why did I want to be with women? For me, what was that? And there's a safety, there's a comfort. I don't trust men. I've been hurt by men. And that's for me to work through. And also for me not to hurt women anymore because I haven't worked through my stuff. Yeah. And so that's me figuring out a new identity for me. And you've been there with me as
yes, I have.
and the most personal level that somebody could be there with you and still love you through that journey. But the best love you can have from somebody is somebody allowing you to break free into who you actually are,
Well, that'll just segue into this one. This is not my question. Is it hard to maintain boundaries with Jenny romantically? Is it?
Jenny and
I. My leg. Emotion sparks flew.
Jenny and I live together.
Yes.
We are raising my daughter together.
We are doing life together.
We are doing life together.
So that is so fucking confusing to people.
It's so confusing to people. I had a friend the other day that was like, are you guys like back together? And I was like, no, we're life partners. And Jenny was like, you can't say that because when you say that, they think, you know, like lesbians,
You have
like
to
this
say,
is my
like,
partner. We're what are we? We're best friends. We're family. We're more than that.
Yeah.
Is the deepest like friendship, spiritual.
Well, there's 9,000 definitions for soulmates, but our therapist called it us soulmates from day one.
Yeah.
And we don't
have
we're
to.
just figuring,
We're just
we're
figuring
having
out
this conversation. We're like, this is so wild and it's not romantic. And I know that's hard for people to understand and it's confusing, but we don't, I mean, there, as far as like boundaries, there's no crossing of a romantic boundary. So it does, nothing needs to be even said or anything. We're just us. We're doing life like, right?
Yeah. It's the deepest connection I've ever had with someone.
Yeah. Same.
It's the safest connection I've ever had with someone. And it is allowing both of us to actually feel safe and loved
and be truly
ourselves and figure out our own identities, your own identity, right? You're breaking through your own and figuring yours out and then encouraging each other. But it's also allowing us both to really do the work.
Yeah.
And like not run out to things that like we typically would run out to because we have our home and we have our family. We're so focused. And wherever this journey goes, we don't know. We have a vision, we have an idea, but we're also very open to like,
we're not like shut off. Our hearts aren't closed off.
No. And like,
I think we're just so uber focused in the now
that's it. That like whatever comes, like
she'll probably say life partner again. So if that confuses you, sorry, but that's what it is. We're not romantic.
We're not romantic. And I think, you know, Jenny definitely right now wants to, I can feel that, but
wow, you can't say that word. Okay.
Maybe I was wrong. I think I read the room wrong.
Wow.
I read the room wrong.
I'm not going to answer that.
I think I read the room wrong.
Anyways,
we're just friends. We're just friends.
We're not just friends though.
We're not.
It's hard to say that.
This is my this is my life partner because you can't say just friends.
You can't say.
See, it doesn't even.
Just family.
So what are we?
Weird as fuck. Okay. Aliens. Oh, the sun's hiding behind a cloud.
Okay, what would you call me?
I can't say this is my friend.
No,
because it sounds weird.
It does sound
this
so.
Is my family.
What would we call it?
I don't know.
My family.
We're doing life together.
Life partners.
Yeah, you're my partner.
You're my That sounds.
Partner in crime.
My ride or die. My Ruth to my Idgie.
Can someone come up with a term for
help
what
us.
We are?
Yeah, what are we?
The Ruth. Wait, you're the Ruth to my.
I'm
Idgie.
the Ruth to your Idgie. You're Idgie.
Yeah. Okay.
Still magnolias. Not still magnolias. Fried green tomatoes. Sorry, same thing. Drink your juice.
Shelby was right. All right. Anywho, do you have
things
any
went dark really quick, and I'm sorry.
Thus far.
Do you have any regrets?
Thus far.
I have never been one to have regrets. I have never had regrets. And I will say this. Every single thing I've ever been through, whether I walked into the fucking fire or not, I have come out better, stronger, enlightened. I would say this last chapter, my last one that I just went through, I wish I could protect myself from it.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could have.
But you needed it.
But that's the thing.
See, we're not supposed to have regrets.
That's what I'm saying. And you know this. Had I not walked through what I just went through, man, I wouldn't be able to be free to go through what I'm about to go through. So
I don't think that's regrettable.
I can't regret it.
Some like contracts back in the day when you're on a reality show, you could regret.
I regret those. I regret not having a fucking lawyer. If you're a lawyer, I'd love a lawyer in my life. Okay, I'm looking for a solid.
No one signed anything until.
Don't sign anything in your life until somebody has actually
asked for more money.
Yeah, I regret not hiring my price.
Yeah. For
those accessible to me. I regret not having a lawyer help me protect myself in life. Mm-hmm. But do I regret what I've done in my life? I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
That's why you're here today.
That's why I'm here.
Where do you see yourself in 6 months?
Fuck, I wish it was that fucking house. 6 months. Okay, so 6 months is my birthday in January. I see myself.
Not 6 months.
It's not?
March is 6 months.
March, that's.
Math.
She's here for the math homework in this house, just so you guys know.
But you will be 43.
But I will. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I will be 43. I want to hit my fitness goals, right? I want my fat percentage at a certain point for me, for strength wise. I want to be the strongest I've ever been physically, mentally, and spiritually. I want to be past the current season that I'm trying to get out of. I want it done and complete, and I want to be free. I want to be fully financially in a place where I am just doing what I love with coaching. And I want my book to be starting to get published and to be putting it out there. Those are my goals for 6 months. That is what I'm focused on. That is what's going to happen. And we're still going to be here as we keep moving with our work stuff into our ranch one day and our doing life together, life partners.
All right, last question. This is going to be your longest episode. This is multi-part.
And you were confused. You thought we weren't going to have enough questions.
I know. We might need to do a part 2.
Okay.
What would you tell your 5, 20, 30, and 40-year-old self?
Great question. Great question. Written by a great
Am I doing my question?
Oh man, I would tell my 5-year-old little girl, because my 6-year-old girl is the one I'm dealing with in therapy. She's where I always go back to. So she's the root of like all my healing right now.
Same. It's interesting.
Yeah, is that 6-year-old little girl. I would tell her, don't lose the magic. Don't stop dreaming. Don't stop believing. Don't let what's about to happen in your life hold you back. And don't lose that like wonder for like what the world has for you. Don't let it damage you too young. Right? I would tell my 20-year-old self, don't let cameras come near you. You can't take that back.
Don't fall in love with that man.
Don't fall in love with that man. Don't. You're worthy. Wait. Slow down. I would tell her to slow the fuck down. That, you're going to get there one day, but like, don't rush it. Don't try to grow up so fast. I would tell my 30-year-old self, it's going to be unfair. It's going to be really unfair. And you're going to be fine. And I would tell my 40-year-old self that this is the best fucking season of my life.
I like that.
Yeah.
Great. That was a good answer.
That was good, right?
Yeah.
You proud?
Yeah.
Are you
proud of you?
You proud of me?
Proud of your life partner. What are we going to do today?
Now, on that note, we are about to go shoot some guns, which we love to do. And then we're about to get really weird and freaky, which we love to do. And we're going to go on a beautiful hike.
A guided silent hike.
And then we're going to do
a
waterfall in a cave, do yoga, sound bath for like an hour. And so we're getting a little bit of like the side of me that needs to come out, like where I need to shoot or punch something. Very therapeutic. And then I'm going to get zen and real weird.
Yep.
And meditate. And these are the kinds of things that we do.
It is. I like it. Good job.
Good job.
Yep.
Way to go. You're like the next Oprah.
Where do you see yourself in 6 months, Jenny? I will be taking over Oprah.
You're like a little guru. You're my little like Buddha.
You're welcome.
She like sees things and has visions, you guys, that are really clear. And so I'll have like an idea.
It's okay to say I changed your life.
She did change. I changed your life.
You did.
I did.
Yeah.
We changed each other's lives. Yeah. We did.
Yeah. I think that's another episode.
Okay. That's it.
We're good.
Yeah. Okay. Have a great day, guys.
Peace.